Well, what we have today is a northern tender situation. And what I'm going to show you is a northern tender with the flyer reverse set up. And what we're going to have to do in order to put the digital reverse board inside there. So you'll see right away that this thing here is much narrower than this board, and that the opening in the shell for this tender is not right. If this is my spacer or adapter, it just doesn't work. But if I can get it in there, it would fit. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to assemble the board with the wiring and the rectifiers, but I'm going to have to put some extra holes in the bottom of it, and I'm going to add a spacer adapter. These don't have the finish holes in them, but it will soon. This adapter will bolt up to this guy from the bottom. We'll put 2 new holes in here. You'll bolt that together. You'll bolt all the pieces on it, and you'll leave it off of the tender chassis. Don't bolt it on yet. It has these 2 pins alignment and then 2 screw holes for screwing it on using existing holes. So what you'll do is you'll remove the old reverse. You'll have this assembled over here, all in total, and you'll put the body down, and you will feed it through this opening here, and you'll see in a second. I'll show you if I can with one hand. That's okay. It will slide in just fine with all the pieces, okay? And you'll line it up. You'll fasten it to the spacer, okay? So it and the spacer are all sitting inside there, just like that, and it will fit. I've tested all of this, okay? It will slide down where it's supposed to be. And then this guy, your wiring is already on to the, you got to get the wiring onto the rivets and all that stuff to make sure you're going to have continuity, and the power. And then this is going to fit on the chassis would fit on, and you'll find these 2 holes, screw them in, and that's how that would work. Then you would pull forward the motor mount wires, or the motor power wires, and wire them in. That's how we're going to have to build this for the northern one, to fit everything inside. This is, it's not small. It's just that it's got that curve at the bottom, and I have to accommodate that curve. And the only way I can do that is with a spacer. All my other stuff will fit, and I'm going to go ahead later today and assemble a full unit with an engine with a DC fan, a DC, I'm drunk, a DC field, right? And I'm not going to worry about the smoke unit. You'll have your own smoke system, so that'll be it. And the only other option that may be of interest for those that are building these out would be to get the smoke power board that gives you a regulated heater voltage, so it maintains 7, 8 degrees, whatever it is you need, or volts, maintain the heat, not over and under. But that's not this. All I'm doing right now is the motor control. That is the reverse, the AC to DC, and then the DC fields to replace the wired fields segment, and then the armature and everything else just fits right in. You're done. So you would connect your 2 wires off of here, which would be these motor wires would come off of here, this socket down here, screw them in, run them forward, make sure you have enough length, and then you can replace them, fasten them, create a junction, whatever floats your boat. You could wire them right into the little pin board and plug them in. That's kind of an easy thing to do if you're not going to mess with anything else on the engine. That way these are up to the socket in the cab. You have your socket hanging out on the tether and you just plug it in. If you do an LED light in the front of the engine, the LED light could be powered from the motor because it's very low power. Won't hurt anything. This guy runs on about 0.8 amps, so you'd have, a couple milliamps, nothing for that. So that's what I wanted to share, was a little bit of the assembly, what it's going to look like. It's not exactly done perfectly. It will be, but in a couple of hours. I've got printing going on, and I'll do the test fits. Once I get it fitted, then I'm going to probably assemble it to this particular. This is my personal Northern chassis. I will leave it, solder them in, leave it so you can see that, how it fits, how we assembled it and bolt it together, and then we'll go from there. And then I'll get a Northern, I'll put this on a Northern, and we'll run it. You'll see them. Chassis. I run chassis a lot because everybody, I thought, would want to see. You see a full, complete engine, you're not seeing what's inside. You don't know how it's running. I did a demo yesterday with a 290, and it is a screamer. I mean, it really runs smooth, fast, very powerful, pulls, but you don't really see what's inside. So I leave the screws off the tender so I can at least pull them off, Say, there, that's what's causing all that. I go, wow, yeah. Oh yeah, here, see? This one is built this way, where you just take the tender wires and wire these right into it. That way you just plug that in, boom. Okay, I'm going to post this for the Northern guys. They're the only ones that really have this issue, other than those with special tenders. But, if you're going to do custom and whatnot, you may have that issue. But in any case, I've done this before on Northern chassis and Northern-like chassis where the base is too narrow. This is the way I do it, and it seems to work. It's a little awkward on the assembly because you got an extra piece and you're trying to align them and all that, but it does come together and it works well. All right, more later. That'll get you started if you're worried about the Northern stuff. It's real close, almost done. Later.